Radiate positive energy. That's kind of hard to do if you're running on empty. Last week I talked about self-love, and I did mention the fact that self-love is self-care. And self-care is what we're going to talk about today. Prioritize self-care and improve your well-being. And here's a bonus. If you prioritize your self-care and improve your well-being, your productivity will automatically increase. So think of self-care as the World Health Organization defines it. And there's many definitions of this, but this is a simple one, and I think it goes beyond this. But the World Health Organization defines self-care as promote and maintain health, prevent disease, and cope with a disability or an illness. Now, let's just take those first two and look at them. If you promote and maintain health and you take steps to prevent disease, then you're going to be able to cope with a lot of things a lot more easily. So what are the benefits of self-care? Well, it increases happiness, it reduces stress and anxiety, it leads to better health, it results in feeling more peace of mind, feeling more comfortable. The overall result is an improved sense of well-being. Self-care increases focus and productivity. And that's just where we're going today, with some steps that you can walk away with to begin this very day. So prioritize self-care, help focus and increase productivity. In this busy world, we all want that. Hi, I am Sharon, and I share information on how to be happy, healthy, and feel comfortable in your day-to-day life through practices such as meditation, yoga, thought habits, and nature, so you can experience more well-being in your day-to-day life. So in this video, you can expect more tools in your toolbox on how to experience more well-being. So there are 4 primary areas of self-care, and I'm going to share those 4 areas of self-care and the action that you can take today to improve each of those 4 areas. Now we'll conclude, as usual, with a short, brief meditation, so stick around for that. Focus and prioritize self-care. Tonight, and continue to do this each and every night, make your to-do list for tomorrow. That is just a great habit to get in. If you're already doing that, great. If you're doing it during the day or before you leave the office, add on to it when you get home. But have a daily to-do list, and we're going to include one step in each of these 4 areas in that to-do list. Now, why do we do that? Why do we want to do it at night? Well, think of it as sleeping on it. When you do things at night, whatever you're doing at night, so be careful what you're watching at night. More about that in a minute. But it's like sleeping on it. Your brain is processing. It's always thinking, even when you're asleep. So you are thinking, you're getting inspiration, clarification, ideas on not only your regular to-do list, but also on these 4 areas that we're going to be focusing on today. So number 1, and I have to say number 1, these are in no particular order, but I will say this one is the number 1 thing you need to be doing, and that is meditation. And I've talked about that before, and I'll beat that drum because meditation is magic. Once upon a time, when I first started meditating, I did it sporadically, and yes, I gained benefits from doing it that way. But it wasn't until I made meditation a priority and did it in my day-to-day life did I notice the real change and the real inspiration and the real insights and connection. So number 1 is meditation. Now, I shared meditation myths in a previous video, and you can check that out right here. So you can get started there. You can get started anywhere on the internet. There's a ton of information on how to begin meditating. That is the basis of this channel because it is the basis of everything that I do, and it is magic. It truly is. There are how-tos for beginners, and I'll share that right here, and how-to meditation, plus the one that we do at the end is a beginner-friendly meditation. So we're busy. We don't have time, and I know that was the case for me. I didn't have time to meditate. I had some very poor misconceptions of meditation. But here's what you do. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Set your timer. Spend 5 minutes. Decide what time of day you want to do it. That helps build the habit. And a simple formula for meditating is take a breath. Inhale. I like to take 3 breaths to kind of settle into my breath. And then give gratitude. I am thankful for blank. Inhale. Exhale. Or you can stick with gratitude the whole time, or you can go ahead and move into affirmations. I am happy. Inhale. Exhale. I am healthy. Inhale. Exhale. I am blank. You fill in the blank. Take a deep breath after each one. So you can do gratitude and affirmations, or just gratitude, or just affirmations, or you can do a mantra. And one we're probably all familiar with is the mantra, Om. Inhale, exhale. Om. Inhale, exhale. Whatever you can, it can be peace. Peace. Inhale. Exhale. Peace. Inhale. Exhale. Whatever word that you want. You can do a combination of all 3. You can choose one and do that. But it's in the breath. It's in those moments where you're taking that breath that you will begin to develop insight, ideas, inspiration. Now, if you want to take that up another notch, do it 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the afternoon. Simple. It does not need to be complicated. It is simply coming into a quiet place in your mind. Even if you're thinking thoughts, just observe those thoughts. Be in your breath. Gratitude, affirmations, a mantra, or a mantra. Take a breath in between. That's a simple formula. Set your timer. When it goes off, you're done. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel the next day, the next day, the next day. So, for your to-do list, using this example, I will meditate, or you could just say, meditate 5 minutes on waking. Set my timer, focus, gratitude. Your focus might be affirmations. Whatever you want. No rules here. Your rules. You find what works for you. Okay, and again, at the end of this video, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to set the timer. We're going to go in and do a 5-minute beginner-friendly gratitude meditation. Done. Okay, so how does this affect our productivity? Well, if you research any meditation and productivity according to science or according to research, you're going to find things such as meditation leads to clearer thinking, more creativity, and a bunch of other science that goes into that, how it affects the brain. Bottom line here is when we're meditating, we're not always in that fight or flight situation. Stress and anxiety goes down. Therefore, our brains can think better, Therefore, you're going to be more productive in your day-to-day life. Number 2, nutrition. How are you taking care of this body of yours? How are you fueling it? That matters. Now, when we're all younger, perhaps we go through a season where, I used to think it's not what you eat, it's how much you eat. So if I ate cake for lunch, it was just the same as eating a lunch of vegetables and meat. I thought I didn't need meat until I realized I wasn't getting enough protein, and I almost got very sick. So fueling our body is important to productivity and to just having a healthy, happy life. So in our day-to-day life, we're very busy, and I, myself included, I have been so guilty of this. I apologize to my children all the time because our diet when they were younger, we were busy. It was pizza, it was spaghetti, it was processed foods, it was all the things, not the good things. So busy life equals processed foods. And yes, that goes along with going to restaurants and out to eat and all that. Anything you do in moderation is not going to be a big deal. I do believe that with all my heart. However, when we're really busy, it just becomes a way of life. It becomes an easy thing to do, to just grab the processed food and make the dinner or heat the dinner or go through the drive-thru. The key is to have a plan for busy days. Now, this isn't something that is going to be easy to tackle and fix in your busy life in one shot. So start baby steps, just like anything else, simple baby steps. So some sample to-dos that you might want to add to your to-do list are drink water as soon as you wake up. So as soon as you wake up, have a glass of water. I've always heard that. I never practiced that until my morning coffee started eating a hole in my stomach, and I realized that if I drank water, I didn't have that problem. So that's a great place to start. It's easy, and already you've taken a step towards hydrating your body after you've been asleep all night. You haven't had any water during the night, unless you're like me and you drink water during the night. But drink water when you wake up. That's a good one. Another sample step for your to-do list is to plan dinner. Start with 1 day a week. So every Wednesday, we're going to have a home-cooked meal. I'm going to focus on whole foods as much as possible and less processed foods. Doesn't have to be 100%, but that's the goal. Or I'm going to plan my lunches. Maybe 1 day a week, or maybe on all the days of the week that start with T, I'm going to plan my lunch, a healthy lunch. Do whatever I want on the other days. On these days, I'm going to nourish my body with a healthy lunch. Plan your trips to the grocery store. How many of us swing by the grocery store and we're just walking through and that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. We'll do that. Make your list. Kind of think ahead of time what you're going to need. Now, this sounds like common sense, but living in our busy world as we do, we're all guilty of just going in and winging it and coming out with, we don't have anything to eat tomorrow night because we didn't plan. So plan, but in that planning, make sure you have some fresh fruits, some fresh vegetables, or frozen, or nuts, or something like that. Things that you can go to, foods that you can go to that will provide some nutrition versus chips, cookies, crackers, things of that nature, processed foods. And always drinking water during that time kind of kills hunger, especially in between meals. So there's some samples there, and you may have some of your own you want to do, but the bottom line is you don't have to revamp the whole thing right away. Pick one. So we have 5 minutes of gratitude meditation on our to-do list. Check. Now we have drinking water upon waking up. Drink water first thing in the morning. We have 2 things on our list. Now, how does nutrition affect productivity? There's a whole lot of research on that. And with children, if they don't get the right nutrition, it affects their learning. Well, it certainly affects productivity. Provide the best fuel for your body. Think of your body as a machine, and you want to use the best fuel for it. You ever notice how some foods make you feel sluggish or not so great? That's nutrition. That's nutrition. Eating right and drinking water and not drinking your calories helps your body perform at the most optimal level. Your brain is going to function. You're going to be able to think in a more clear fashion. You're going to be able to think with clarity. You're going to be able to think quicker. You're not going to be as fatigued because you are fueling your body in the right ways. Now, if you want to dive into all this science, like I said, it's just a Google search. What does nutrition have to do with productivity? And you will find countless research and information on that. Number three is movement. Move your body. So many ways you can do that. Stretch, walk, go for a walk, short walk. Doesn't have to be long. Yoga, qigong, work out, have a dance party. Set your timer for 1 minute, put your music on or put your favorite song on and just dance to it. Do that a few times a day and there, you've moved your body and had fun doing it. Move your body, move your body, move your body. I cannot stress that enough. As we sit at our computers and then we come home and sit at our computers or our TV or in front or holding our phones hunched over, it is not optimal for our bodies. And we suffer the effects of it through aches and pains and stiffness and just not feeling good. And if you don't think not feeling good affects your productivity, pay attention because it does. So if you don't use it, you lose it. The more you're sedentary, the more sedentary you will become, the harder it will be to start moving. So move your body, even if a few minutes every day. That's all you have to do. It's like meditation. So little goes such a long way. And there's all kinds of videos on, you don't have to buy a program. You can just Google 5-minute movement or 5 minutes of yoga or 10 minutes of yoga. I do a 5-minute standing yoga routine every day just to move my spine all the ways it needs to move. And sometimes it feels so good, I end up doing it 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And it goes by so quickly because I know I'm doing the right thing for my body. So time is an issue. For all of us, time is an issue. It's a very busy world we live in. So break it down to something I call the 5x5 plan. So 5 minutes, set your timer 5 times a day. So maybe right after you wake up, 5 minutes you're just going to stretch. Maybe at lunch, 5 minutes you're going to do some inversions or run in place or squats or stretches at your desk like this. Just getting your body moving. Go up and down on your tiptoes. 5 minutes. And then mid-afternoon, another 5 minutes. When you get home from work, 5 minutes. And before you go to bed, 5 minutes. You pick what you do during that time. That's entirely up to you. You can run in place. You can just do stretches. You can do some yoga movements. Whatever feels good for you. You can get your kids and have a 5-minute dance party. That's going to be hard to keep up with because it gets really cardio when you start dancing. But 5 minutes, 5 times a day, now you've moved your body 25 minutes during the day. The key is here, movement and small manageable steps. If you're just starting to do this, like walking out to the mailbox may be all that you're going to do right now. And that's okay. But start there. Start somewhere. Start and then build from there. So on our to-do list here, we might have, okay, well, I'm going to do the 5 by 5. 5 minutes of movement, 5 times a day. I'm going to do that. That goes on my to-do list. Is that too much? 3 minutes, 3 times a day. 5 minutes, 3 times a day. You make up your own rules. Maybe I'm just going to do 1 minute, 5 times a day. And that's where I'm starting. Or I'm going to remember to get up from my desk every hour and just stretch or do some desk exercises. Add your movement goal to your to-do list and then do it. All right, so now we have 5 minutes of gratitude meditation in the morning. Drink water when you wake up. 5 minutes of movement 5 times a day, or however you decide to do it. How does this help with productivity? You're going to feel better. I remember when school would start and I would be so very, 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 very busy, and I would feel all knotted up inside and I couldn't think. I felt like almost like the world was closing in on me. And I realized in that moment, at that time, that in the busyness of the beginning of the school year, I had neglected to take care of my body. And I was a regular bike rider 3 times a week. And all I needed was a quick bike ride in the woods and I was good to go. But I discovered that on my own, that movement helped me even when I didn't realize it. And when I didn't do it, I felt it. So movement matters. You get more oxygen to your brain. You experience less pain and aches and stiffness. And your creativity is increased, just to name a few. But again, a quick Google search on movement and what science has to say about that and productivity, and you will find a plethora of information there. Now, our last area is an important area, and it is an area that, even though I'm over 60, I still work on. It is the area of sleep. Now, I used to be very proud and, dare I say, a little bit arrogant, and I would say, you can sleep when you're dead. And I was really proud of the fact, because I'm a night owl, that I could stay up half the night and get up early in the morning and go to work. And I thought that was being devoted. Okay. But thinking back, I realized that it wasn't until about 9 o'clock that my light bulb came on in my brain, and I was doing irreparable harm to my mind and my body by burning the candle on both ends, so to speak. So somewhere along the line, I set myself a bedtime so I could go to bed, but I still couldn't go to sleep because remember, I'm a night owl. And so there's all kinds of strategies that you can do to help. One is meditation at night before bed. Another is create a bedtime routine or ritual to help get your body ready for bed, but have a bedtime. I actually have on my phone a do not disturb bedtime. I set it and my phone goes into grayscale to discourage me from messing around on my phone, because it's reminding me that it is bedtime now, time to rest, time to sleep. So for adults, we need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. It's up to the individual, but just know that 4 or 5 hours isn't cutting it. 6 hours, probably not the best. So sleep is important, and there's some simple things you can do. I just mentioned some, but to add to your to-do list, you might add on your to-do list as an example, buy a sleep mask. Sometimes just cutting off, even though if you're in a dark room, that having something over your eyes helps you sleep. Maybe it's buy earplugs. use earplugs, because if you have a partner that snores or you hear every noise in the house, if you have a cat that's bouncing around everywhere, that's going to affect your sleep. Those are just two simple things. Sleep is restorative, renewing, recharging, and healing. Why would you not want to take that time? Unless you were like me and you just didn't know better. Now we live in the information age, and there's so many things I wish I could go back and have a do-over, but I don't. So all I can do is learn and go from here. Watch what you put in your mind before you go to bed. You might not want to be watching true crime stories before bedtime, because that's setting you up to be a little bit disturbed. And that's not what you want to put in your mind. So if you're going to read or listen or watch something, have something that's going to feed your mind, gain knowledge from, or be inspirational. Or turn your phone off altogether. I know we've all read How to Cure Insomnia. Put your phone down. Even though we have these screens and things like that is supposed to help at night, you are still on your phone, and it is not helping you to fall asleep. And that is my one thing that I am working on every day. It's just trying to reduce my phone use in the evening, because I do have trouble sleeping at night. And if I don't use my phone, it's better. So reduce your phone, turn it off, or put it out of the way. Don't have it on. Don't grab it first thing in the morning. Do your 5 minutes of gratitude. Start with baby steps though, and I'll give you some tips for that. Something that I call the 25% rule. And I learned about this, and it was in a dietary context on how to, say, decrease sugar. And I wish I could give credit, but I don't know where I read it. I learned it somewhere along the way. But you reduce the thing by 25%, and then you go a week at that reduced rate. And then you reduce it another 25%. And then you go on until you've eliminated it altogether. An example of that was I reduced my half and half. I was putting 2 tablespoons on my coffee, and then I did 1.5, and then I did just 1, and then I did half, and now I can drink my coffee black. Something I never thought I could do. But that 25% rule works. So you can apply that to your bedtime. And by doing that, let's say, as an example, that you use your phone 60 minutes before you go to bed. Or you're sitting in your bed and you're usually on your phone for an hour. So for 1 week, change that 60 minutes to 45 minutes. See how you're doing. Then for the next week, the second week, reduce it to 30 minutes. So you're only on your phone for 30 minutes a night. And maybe that's really hard for you, so you decide to go ahead and go another week at 30 minutes. That's okay too, because this isn't a hard and fast rule or anything. I think I stayed on a half a tablespoon of half and half for about 3 weeks before I took the next step. But then take the next step. 15 minutes. Now you're on your phone 15 minutes. 15 minutes is up. I'm done with my phone. And with the goal to not have your phone at all when you're in bed going to sleep. So now on our to-do list, we have 5 minutes of gratitude meditation in the morning. We're going to drink water when we wake up. I'm going to move my body 5 minutes, 5 times a day. And I'm going to be on my phone only for 45 minutes for a week instead of 60, and then drop it beyond that. So, can you do those things? What would you do in place of those things? Now, how does sleep affect productivity? Think of your body as a battery. Think of your body as a phone, speaking of phones. And you know how you have to charge your phone or a computer. You have to charge your computer. My computer, even when I still have battery left, it starts functioning poorly. And it doesn't go as fast. And I know, I'm like, ooh, my battery is on its way. The same with your body. You will be more productive with a recharged body. So think of sleep as recharging your body, because so much goes on in sleep. Healing, recharging, renewing, all the things that keep your cells are growing all the time. Mind, spirit, all is affected by sleep. It's so important. If you're sleep deprived, you can go crazy. There's some research on that too. Don't do that to yourself. So those are the 4 areas and 4 samples of things you can add to your to-do list every day. You have the choice though. There are no hard and fast rules here. You can change these up each day. So maybe work on a different thing every day, or you can change them up in a week or a month, or it just depends on the area. However long you want to work on it. Now, if you're trying to build a habit, the rule of thumb is 21 to 30 days. So keep that in mind. You might want to stick with something a little bit longer, but you also might want to explore more. And once it becomes a habit, go ahead and add on another thing. You're not adding on because drinking water in the morning is now a habit. I don't even have to put that on my to-do list because it's a habit. And the more you develop healthy habits, the more healthy habits you will develop. The more you develop healthy habits, the more healthy habits you will develop. It just happens automatically, like magic. So add on, change it up as you feel comfortable. The rules are your rules. Just make sure you're moving in a forward direction. Baby steps, getting to where you want to be. Move in the direction that you want to move in so you can experience more well-being in your life. The more you build a habit, the easier it becomes. So if you've ever gone on a diet and the first few days are just torture. The first week, and for me it's the first 2 weeks. Now, I'm not a proponent of going on a diet. I am a supporter of eating healthy every day, and then you don't need to diet, starve yourself. But in my experience of doing diets in the past, after 2 weeks, it just kind of all falls in place. It's not hard at all. Not like the first few days. So stick with it. Stick with it. It becomes easier. Then notice how you're feeling. You will begin to notice changes in your body, changes in your thoughts, changes in your productivity. But if you look back after the first 2 or 3 days, you may be like, no, this isn't working. And if you mess up a day, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. That just means you pick up the next day and you keep going. But notice how you're feeling. Pay attention. Be aware of what's going on in your mind and your body. So self-care is self-love. Self-love is self-care. And that's the foundation. That's where you start. If you want to shine for others, you've got to shine yourself. And you can't shine if you're empty. So gift yourself the gift of self-care. Okay, now we're going to move into our 5-minute gratitude meditation. So first of all, just get comfortable. Pillows, blankets, whatever makes you comfortable. If you prefer to lay down, you can lie down. You can. I fall asleep if I lie down, and there's nothing wrong with that. Remember, sleep is recharging. But I like to sit up and prop myself up in a comfortable way. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. I'm going to set the timer, so give me a moment. Okay, my timer is going, and we're going to get comfortable. I am going to guide this. It provides some gratitudes, but then I'm going to be silent and let you do your own. So we'll start together and then you continue. So begin by inhaling and exhaling. Through the nose, hands can be here or here. My favorite place is on my heart. Inhale, exhale, and one more time. Continue to just notice your breath as you inhale and you exhale. And repeat after me. I am thankful for this day. Inhale. Exhale. I am thankful for this day. Inhale. Exhale. I am thankful for my family. Inhale. Exhale. I am thankful for my family. I am thankful for me. I am thankful for me. Inhale. Exhale. I am thankful for my health. I am thankful for my health. I am thankful for birds singing. I am thankful for birds singing. I am thankful for my life. I am thankful for my life. Your turn. Fill in the blank. Full inhale, exhale after. I am thankful for full breath. I am thankful for I am thankful for remember to take that full breath in between each gratitude. I am thankful for. Now you continue to pay attention to your breath. You can continue saying gratitudes to yourself. Our 5 minutes is almost up, but keep going. And that's it. There. 5-minute gratitude meditation. You can do that. Start with 3, get comfortable, 3 breaths, and say, I am thankful for, take a breath, keep going. And if you run out of things or you think you're getting towards the end, just focus back on your breath. It's in the breath that we gain the insight. So, radiate positive energy. Shine on.